I came across something that I really like and I want to talk about it. The Veleda-F. Now, this is a world drop. It might be focusable with lost sectors, but for the most part, it's just randomly. Gunsmith, Rahul, after activity, wherever, world drop. I'm really liking this sniper rifle, but it's more so about the perk on it. I want to explore this perk, what we can do with it, and what weapons have it, because it's something to pay attention to. A new one, Withering Gaze. Aiming this weapon for a short period of time without firing grants the ability to weaken the next target. Timer resets after firing or when you stop aiming down sights. So it works like box breathing, no distractions, you ADS, 2-3 seconds go by, the perk procs. The next hit, you weaken them for 6 seconds in PvE. It's a 15% debuff. So you and your fire team are going to deal that 50% more damage. When I first saw the perk, I was very intrigued. I mean, most builds I make and I talk about or showcase on the channel and that I run, they're built around being very good in solo play, but excelling in team play, really helping out a team. And on the surface, when I first looked at it, and after trying it, it is a perfect bait and switch rotation weapon, like legit perfect. And also for the Crucible, very intriguing there. I'm loving it. And there's a little philosophy going on in the Crucible that I'll talk about later. But this new perk, let's talk about what weapons have it. That way you can be looking for it. And I'm going to go through the full review of this sniper, but it's going to be highly centered around this perk because it's a unique perk. The role that you're going to be seeing the entire video is Chambered Compensator, Flared Magwell, Deconstruct or Lone Wolf with Withering Gaze. And surprise, this is on void weapons. So this one and the other sniper rifle comes from Onslaught Sovereignty. Be looking for this perk, especially with explosive payload, because you would shoot a shot, weaken, and then remember that damage is split up with explosive payload, so it does a little bit more. I'm going to be covering it at a later date, but that's what you should be looking for right now. One of the main things. We have Glacioclasm. It's coming at a later date. Withering Gaze is in the 4th column. You can pair it with Slide or Overflow, Envious. A grenade launcher coming out later, a Cosmic. This has it in the 3rd column, so you could pair it with Bait and Switch, Cascade. But since it's in the 3rd, that means you have to start off a Bait and Switch rotation shooting it first. I mean, that's okay, but we'll talk about all that at a later date. There's Mistral Lift coming at a later date. This is a linear. And again, it's in the 3rd. And that's really good with firing line with the team. Like, really good. Aimed out sights for a second, weaken. Everybody gets that 15% debuff. With firing line, it deals 38% more damage. There's also Precision Instrument, doing 50% more total. It really elevates a void weapon. Like, it's a good perk. We have the Trials Rocket Launcher, Tomorrow's Answer. Again, it's in the 3rd. So you pair that with Vorpal, Bipod, Bait and Switch. But with this being a sniper rifle in this archetype, this is a 72 RPM aggressive frame. So it hits the hardest. And as far as chunk damage, I find value in that. I'm going to talk about it as I go. And being a sniper, it better fits into the bait and switch rotation. The ability to weaken anytime you want. Aim down sights for a couple seconds, shoot the shot, weaken, go to the primary, switch over to the GL. And even though in the artifact, grenade launchers are applying weaken, like that doesn't take away what this thing's able to do. It's going to have it always. The artifact's gone. Or maybe a boss is further away and you're seeing some overload and some champions that I'm hitting. But whatever it is, like you can start everyone's damage phase with a weakened shot. Really, really good. I use it in the solo lost sector and started the season, I'm like 27 levels below. All the champions I weakened in bait and switch from a distance. And from a distance, a linear that has bait and switch might be a little bit better than GL. But PvE wise, solo or team play, it has a lot of value to me. It's not tied to having a weakened grenade. It's not tied to being on void or prismatic. You can use it wherever you want. You can just weaken something. And for this weapon, Veleda-F, I honestly think I got the top roll for it, because in the 3rd, we have Air Trigger, Deconstruct, Lone Wolf, No Distractions, Repulsor Brace, Slick Draw, Snapshot. In the final column, Withering Gaze, Closing Time, Destabilizing Rounds, Focus Fury, Opening Shot, Vorpal, Firing Line. In the 3rd, to pair with Withering Gaze for PvE, like Deconstruct really stands out. Air Trigger has the fast reload, Lone Wolf's not helping, No Distractions, Repulsor Brace maybe, but with Deconstruct, dealing sustained damage, grants bonus damage against vehicles and constructs, and refills ammo from reserve, so that's 40% increased on top of the weaken. Not bad at all. So I think it has a lot of application, a useful tool. And this compared to the one from Onslaught, Sovereignty, it's an adaptive frame. So when I'm starting my bait and switch rotation, it's just one shot. So the aggressive frame is going to deal more damage. And then I can go to bait and switch on back to the sniper rifle. And as a last ditch, you can just use the sniper, apply weaken, and then just start firing off shots. But as of right now, be on the lookout for this perk on these 2 sniper rifles. And later on with the GL, linear, fusion, things like that. It's really, really good. Crucible wise, not gonna lie, loving it. And that's because of a couple things. First of all, Lone Wolf, I enhanced it. The base perk states slightly improved aim assist, ADS speed, and AE. The effect is increased when there's no allies nearby. So out of the gate, you get a stat bump, but when you're alone, those stats are bumped even more. The enhanced version just says improved stats. Not slightly, improved. We don't know what the stat value is, but all I can say, this is an extremely good perk. A great perk, S tier perk. And look at it like this. I mean, moving target, a lot use moving target for the feel of it. You get the flat 10 aim assist. You get a small strafe scaler, but a lot of it is that aim assist. This is giving that, and AE, and ADS speed. Try this perk on weapons. The pulse rifle from Onslaught, I am loving. It is legitimately one of the best feeling weapons I've ever played with in Destiny, with how I have it set up. I'm going to cover it. And again, we don't know what the stats are that it's giving, but I do know it is very good. But that gets us into Withering Gaze in the Crucible. Weaken is 7.5% in PvP, and to me, that's really interesting. Because first of all, 42 aim assist. Remember, things like Lone Wolf targeting adds on more aim assist, so it feels good. We've used the sniper rifle in the past. This is just the F version. But my thinking, well, out of the gate, again, Lone Wolf very good. It feels very sticky. Very sticky. I was landing some really good shots with it. And in the end, that's all that matters, period. Clicking heads with the sniper. If you can do that, doesn't matter what it is. Use it. A blue sniper, no origin trait, a year one, doesn't matter, because even though one sniper might have more handling or aim assist, whatever, all these stats merge together to create the feel of it. Snipers are the most feel weapons in the game. The range aim assist, stability, handling, the aim assist stat alone, the scope, all of it. And if you snipe a lot, you know this. They all feel different. And this one feels great to me. With Weaken, it does three main things all at once. One, most important, if you miss a headshot and hit the body, it weakens them. Period, that's just good. Special ammo in PvP is scarce. A lot of people aren't sniping because of this. It's too risky. Your shots have to count. So if you miss, you're applying Weaken, and that turns into the second thing. With Weaken, you can now clean up. Because of his damage profile, it being an aggressive frame, there's 136 to the body. 120 hand cannon is going to do 95 to the head. So at base, they took this way a while back. A body shot from an aggressive frame sniper, follow up with a headshot with aggressive frame hand cannon is 225. So yeah, lower resilience it can down. With Weaken applied, it's 231. So it's there. And it even puts some 140s in, like especially Thorn to headshot after you do that Weaken debuff. And the third thing, in a team setting, it's even better. They're going to go down faster. They're just going to get obliterated. I was doing that in comp. I find value in that. In all, this archetype deals the most damage to the body. It downs supers with the headshots. And also on supers, if you miss them, you can still weaken them and give your team a better chance to take them out. So I think that there's a lot to like, but having a blast with it. So when this thing drops and the Onslaught Sniper, be looking for this perk. Crucible wise, I love Lone Wolf. I am a believer. But otherwise, like there's Snapshot, Withering Gaze. The other sniper rifle can't get Snapshot. There's Slick Draw. Sovereignty can't get Slick Draw, Snapshot. I mean, it has steady hands, but you would need to kill with it first. For the Crucible, this one has a higher ceiling. PvE wise, because the origin trait, we're going to have to see. But even if that doesn't drop, there's still things to look for. Snapshot, opening shot, Slick Draw, opening shot. There's also like Snapshot closing time. And this is an interesting one. I've only got it on a couple weapons. Improved range, accuracy, and handling. The main thing's the accuracy and handling for a sniper rifle. All things to look for. And I haven't talked about it. I haven't enhanced it because I've enhanced a lot already. I'm already low on materials. I assume that enhanced Withering Gaze makes it proc faster, which is going to be a good thing. Overall, very interesting and unique. I like it, and I wanted to talk about it and some of the things that you can do with it. And just like the new stasis weapons with Rhyme Stealer and the new Jolt perk, this is the same. You're able to weaken something on any character, not tied down to Prismatic, not tied down to Void, having a weaken grenade. You can be on Solar if you want, Strand, whatever. You can apply weaken for yourself and your fire team. And even though in the artifact we have weakening grenade launchers, that doesn't take away from what this thing does. And with what it does, it's very, very good, no matter where you're playing. If you're new here, remember to hit the subscribe button. And if you are subscribed, thank you so much for your support. Let's talk about the Veleda-F down below, but more so about Withering Gaze. What do you think about it? Thank you for watching, and until the next one, I am CoolGuy.